Okay. Welcome to phonetics. If you don't know what phonetics is, basically it is how a language would sound like and the different kinds of ways and sounds the language has. In Spanish, they only have a, e, I, o, u, and that's pretty much it. Same with the Japanese, a, I, o, u, with a bunch of consonant, as well as the Spanish also. Forgot that they also have consonant. But not all languages are the same. For example, if you compare English and French, the R is different in French compared to the English. You don't say boulangerie, you say boulangerie. And I know it takes time to practice that R. It's a pain in the ass sometimes. And same story with other languages. And then Japanese as well, they also have the tsukai na otaranai mo ne, or ima nani o shimasu ka. It's really weird. But in Bisaya, the good news is that Bisaya tends to be more easy. It's not that hard, it's not also a pain in the ass sometimes. Let's go with the vowels. We only have 5 vowels, that's basically it. A, e, I, o, u. That's pretty much it. Consonants, basically all the consonants in English. And the only thing weird for us is that we can't differentiate the P to the F, and as well as the B and the V's. So the P's and F's tends to just sound like a P, and then the V and B sound like a B. Instead of saying family, we say family. And sometimes when we say verb, we don't say verbs. Well, unless you're an English major. Of course, there's no such thing as C because K and K pretty much sound the same. Now I know there might be difference, but for us in our ears, there's not much difference. And if you might think that C can also sound like a C, like an S, then why don't you use the S, alright? Although there are times, and sometimes names, especially loan words, that has exceptions to the C. A lot of Spanish words have this excuse for some reason. So we take it in as a loan word. I forget to mention that the vowels originally in Cebuano is just 3 vowels. A, I, and U. The E and O is from the Spanish. We got it and we adapted it to our language when the Spanish came in. Because ever since, we've never had it. So if you're reading a word that is native to the language, most of the time it's going to be using those 3 vowels. And if it's a loan word from Spanish, then it's up to you how to guess around if it's an O or an E. And then here comes this. How would you read this if I were to ask you? How would you read this? Maybe some of you guys would read it ow. Most of the time, you guys read it like that. For us, we don't read it like this. We say a-o. So every vowel is its own syllable, and they are not connected. They're all different syllables. So this would be kaon. This would be tubig. And it's very weird, but at the same time, you'll get used to it. So the vowels are not the same. They're always split up. The word sipon, now you don't read this as sipon. We read it as sip-on. So there's that dash there to indicate that it's supposed to be separated to a different syllable. So you might need to get used to that. There's also the word nga, if you guys know it. I think, no, most of you guys know it. For example, doing, the ending there, the ng, doing, driving, that stuff. So you get used to it. So, nga no. Trabajo, yes. It's a Spanish loan words. What's this? Sudan. Kaon. Tubig. Cellphone. Camera. Mouse. Okay, mouse is an exception because it's a loan word again from English. Sakay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you need practice on pronouncing them, there's always a Quizlet below this video in the description. And test yourself and how it sounds like, okay? Good luck, thank you, and see you in the next video. Hopefully.